Valegro. Valegro, en als knaldaan Blueberry, natuurlijk die passende muziek. Valegro, vanavond geleden door Charlotte Dujardin en begeleid door Karel Hester. Olympisch kampioen, Europees kampioen, houder van het wereldrecord scoren puur op muziek. En nu op paard van het jaar, Valegro. Karel, it's up to you.
Thank you very much for the reception for Valegro. He gets this every day at home. When he comes into our arena, all the grooms have to stand up and he gets treated like a king. We're very happy to bring him here, obviously, to the country that he's from, where he was born, where he was bred, and I'm just sorry you sold him. But there you go. Some you win, some you lose. But I hope that you are very happy in how Valegro has ended up and the partnership that he has with Charlotte. And you will be pleased to know that he isn't being sold. As you probably know, he's staying with us in England until he retires. So some people don't know the story of Valegro, but I bought him here in Holland when he was 2.5 years old, and I took him home, and he wasn't so big when he was 2.5 years old. So I said to a friend of mine, "Oh, I have a really nice horse for you. It's too small for me." So she said, "Okay, I trust you, I'll buy it." So I said, "Okay, when will you pay me?" So she said, 2 weeks. I said, "Okay." So 2 weeks she telephoned me and she said, "No, I've had a tax bill. I don't want him." So I said, "Okay, fine." So then I was coming to a show in Holland and I said to Anna, "I'm going to bring him back and see if I can find a bigger one." So after 4 days in Holland, then Anna said, "I think you should take him home again." So on my way back from the show, I picked him up from his holiday in Holland and I took him home. And then, of course, suddenly, when he was 4 years old, thank God I didn't sell him, at 4 years old, he started being a star. So in England, he was a star every year. 4 years old, he was champion. 5 years old, he was champion. 6 years old, he was champion. He's been a champion every year, every level. So you can imagine, Charlotte will never be able to come second because she will be very upset. She has won everything, and it's always, as you can imagine, when you have a horse like this that you watch every day. I mean, I've been watching him now for 8 years in training, but every time I watch him, I either start getting emotional or I can't believe what I'm seeing because, you know, he is now 12 years old this year and he's won 5 gold medals and he still obviously seems to be getting better. So when people in dressage talk about can you get 100%, well, Charlotte thinks she can get 100%. I'm not sure whether we will ever achieve that, but if you think that the horse is going to be 12 years old this year, what do you do every day in your training with a horse that already is a superstar, already does know Grand Prix? So we train at home 4 days a week in an arena, And the other 2 days they go hacking. And if you don't know the story, we have a lady who's 78 years old who lives in our village, and she takes him riding around the roads twice a week. So 78 years old is quite old, and obviously, like when I see Valegro walking down the drive with the 78-year-old lady on, I do just make this sign. And pleased that he comes back with her, but he always does. So it does show what an amazing temperament he has, because he can go with a 78-year-old lady hacking around the roads where we live, and yet when we take him into an arena, you can see the power, and he's so sensitive, and every day the horse works with his ears always pricked, and is very loving his work. So we're here just to show you some of the exercises very quickly, because I know it's late and we don't have very long, but we were just going to show you some exercises that we do, because it doesn't mean because a horse is Grand Prix that every day you work him in Grand Prix. That would be too much. So he does exercises that are obviously working towards Grand Prix so that he's fit, but we have to always look at things that are getting better. And of course, the Valegro is getting better, but I also noticed that Edward Gall is getting better. So we have to get even better. So he's catching up, and we need to move away. So why don't we do the exercise on a circle with some piaffe and passage stuff. So to keep the horse really supple, we do exercises even in the transitions with piaffe and passage. And this was something, you know, when maybe 2 years ago when people were looking at him passage, they said, oh, his passage is not really the best point. So we had to find some exercises to make the passage better. So we just do some half transitions where the horse here and then forward again. So that the horse is always, every time you make a transition, the horse has to bring the hind legs under. So you push him to the left, push the right hand to the left, so that he is more supple, and now bring him forward into some forward steps. Keep riding. And I always think, you know, the best dressage should look like the horse is on reins like silk. You know, the horse should look really like he's in self-carriage and light and forward. So Charlotte has to work always on being able to give the reins. So even though the horse is making a transition, every time he comes back, you know, in dressage there's something that we're always told, and that is you must ride forward. And it's sometimes difficult for people to understand that you have to ride forward even when you're coming back. So if you see here, when she brings him back towards the half steps of the piaffe, then she must still keep riding forward, push her hands forward, and the neck of the horse must come forward so he steps under. Yeah, and forward again. And then a shoulder in again. And again, this time, you can see there, if you're looking, there was like a couple of steps there where you had a little bit of tension. So again, just the small transitions, push him sideways, forward, 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 and now back more. And then sometimes, then we keep teaching him to come forward, come forward, come forward, come forward, because he is Grand Prix, like I said, so we mustn't do things every day that are difficult. It has to be finding easy exercises to make the difficult exercises easy. And forward again. And now this time when you bring him to the center line, then you bring him for his 12 steps. And you bring him with the half holds here, where the reins are loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, half hold, let go, half hold, let go, half hold, let go, and now walk and drop the reins. So you can see for a horse to do like a really good piaffe. I mean, sometimes it makes you feel a little bit disappointed in other horses when you have a horse like that, because of course you realise that he is incredibly talented because he has enough energy to do like really good piaffe, and then she drops the rein and he walks. So it's very important that you have relaxation to make dressage nice to watch. Okay, let's just have a look at one trot around the edge. So the basic pace of when we are like training the horse, the walk and canter have to be very natural, and the trot has to have very good mechanics for you to make a special trot with lots of impression, lots of enthusiasm. And this horse always had a very good hind leg and a very good foreleg, but the one thing that sometimes you have to train to make it special is the moment of suspension. And when you make a moment of suspension, then the trot becomes extremely beautiful and attractive. And so that's what really we've been working on for the last few years to make the trot expressive. So down the long side, and then just do a few transitions again, up, forward again. Watch her ride forward to passage so he brings his shoulders up, and back again. Good. Keep riding forward, 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 and on again. So the horse is always learning to push. He pushes himself uphill, he doesn't pull himself from the front legs, he pushes himself from the hind legs. And as you can see, it's really wonderful to have a microphone in the middle and not have a two-way radio with Charlotte. Because when you're training somebody, she told me today she's bought a two-way microphone, which I'm dreading because now she can speak to me when I'm helping her. But when you're training every day with somebody, then you have to have a very good relationship, because being a dressage rider is about being criticised. You're always being criticised, you're always having to get better, so you have to be able to accept criticism. So it's really good that you're all here, because she wants to smile and look nice and not be rude to me, so that's really good. So you can see that. And Valegro is now going to just stretch a minute, Charlotte. So you can see the horse understanding. He's a trained horse, so he understands when she goes sitting, when she puts her legs on the horse, she pushes the horse to the hand, and you should never use there. If you're going to, if the horse becomes a little strong, then you cannot be strong in your hand and leg at the same time. If you're going to be strong in your hand for a minute, you have to be loose in your legs. If you're going to be strong with your legs, you have to be loose in your hand at the same time, so that you actually communicate with both of those aids, but not strong in the hand and strong in the legs. Okay, let's have a look now when you go rising. I'll just stretch the neck. So you just come on a circle. So it's important that you buy good mechanics, and you can train the expression, especially when you have a horse like Valegro, who obviously is a worker, and then it's easy to change things. Okay, let's give him a walk a minute. So if you didn't know why we were here, obviously I'm going to have to tell you, but we were invited here. Valegro came here 2 years ago to show the project near Valegro, and I know Charlotte enjoyed that. And although, as I say, I'm sorry that you lost him to Holland, we try our best to promote KWPN and Dutch horses. As you know, we have a lot of Dutch horses and a lot of success with them. We love them and enjoy training them. And so the reason that we're here, obviously, I'm going to tell you, is that Valegro has been made KWPN Horse of the Year. So that's why we're here.
KWPN paardspannetjaar 2013. Valegro, die met Charlotte Dujardin. En natuurlijk fantastisch begeleid door Karel Hester. Ja, vol op de tribune, dames en heren. Line up, please. En we hebben misschien nog even wat mooie beelden op het scherm van Valegro.